Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Back-to-back weeks. How lucky are you? Back by popular demand, another edition of the 10 and the 7. And I see when I say that back-to-back weeks, there's like a bit of a surprise look on your face, like, oh, of course, here he is back-to-back, and then he's going to disappear. I'm a man of my word, Luciana. I'm a man of my word. I said we're back. I said we're recommitted. Why do you have to have that thing? Why do you have to do that thing there? Like, oh, well, it's like I could see it. I could like it speaks
I mean,
volumes.
it's the
Your
face of
body language.
judgment.
Yeah.
I'm
Why so
judging
much
you right
judgment?
now because I don't know. I don't know if I can buy it. Me and the people that are fans of this show,
Yeah.
we need more consistency. And
You're a man.
once we see several shows, on every week, then I guess we can
It's
trust you.
so hard. I have
Right?
to like
Does that
throw
make
out so
sense?
many dates, so many times just to get you
Oh, you're so
to do the
busy,
pod.
poor you.
No, you. I'm the one here. I'm sitting in
Oh,
this
no,
chair.
no.
I'm sitting in that chair.
We can't
So
we
there's a
can't
lot.
start every show saying the same things.
I
People are
am
gonna get
here.
tired of us. They're gonna be like, "Oh,
Okay.
sure, there they go,"
There's too much
talking
bickering. There's too
again
much
about the
bickering.
same,
Yeah. We're like an old married couple at this point. All right.
right? Mm.
Here we go. A lot to get into. Thank you very much to everyone who sent in all the nice comments and support. And we are going to do it more. And we have a lot to get to. So I appreciate it. And please spread the word because Luciana very upset with the views. She gives me like a 10-minute. Every 10 minutes, I get an update on the state of the views. I'm like, yo, you need to chill out. All right. We're trying to build something here. Stop stressing.
Well, if
I'm
you were
supposed to be the
promoting our
stressor.
show
I'm
as
supposed to
much
be
as you
the
promote
anxious
your
one.
other shows, then maybe, just maybe we'd have a couple thousands. But
We do have a couple thousand,
I
actually.
just
That's all we have.
well, at least the comments were nice
They were nice for the most part.
for the
Nicer
most part.
towards you than they are towards me, but that
Why
is to be
is that?
expected.
Is it because I'm the seven?
Yeah, I
Maybe they
think they're
forgot
trying to
about
build.
me.
Do you think the people are turning on me?
I mean, I couldn't see why.
There's a lot to like. Or you could or couldn't.
I could and I couldn't.
Okay.
Who knows?
I wasn't sure what you said there.
um,
But it's fine. It's fine.
are you cold?
I'm very cold. Yeah.
Yeah. What's wait, is it cold? Like very cold in your side
Uh,
of the
it's
country already?
currently it's currently like 55 degrees.
I speak Celsius. How
Oh,
much?
me too. It's currently like 9 or 10 or 11.
Oh, that's horrible. I'm sorry.
I think you're commenting on my hoodie situation. I like to be warm. Like when I have my studio in New York City, I tell them to take the AC off. I like to feel hunkered down. I like to like I
You're
like
like
to
a chihuahua.
I like to feel sweaty when I do the show. I don't
My
want to.
dogs do the same thing. They like
Yeah,
to be under the covers.
yeah. So that's it. I'm sorry if that threw
Okay.
you off. Very big
Nice.
news.
Hmm.
Very big news. Well, I
What?
actually have a question. Last week you said that you are going to become an American citizen because you're doing the test, and then I saw you celebrating. But you did the test,
Mhm.
but that doesn't mean you're actually an American citizen yet.
No, I became on the same day.
You did the thing on the same
Yeah,
day?
I was so lucky.
Wait, that
Everybody
never
said the
happens.
same
I've
thing
never
to
heard of
me.
such a thing.
I know, I was so lucky. So what happened was usually you go and you do your interview, the civics test, blah, blah, blah. And then you have to come back, for another date that's where the ceremony, right?
Right?
But the guy that interviewed me, he was so nice. And then he asked me something like, "Oh, when is your next international trip?" And I said, "Oh, next month I have to go to Brazil for UFC."
Hmm.
And he was like, "Well, I'm going to give you two options. You can take the oath today, or, you can schedule it. But if you schedule it, it might not be until March next year." Because what happens is like he said that because they take your green card away. And
Yes.
although I do have my Brazilian passport still, flying back to the US would be a problem because, hey, I am a citizen, but I don't have a passport yet. Like, so how do I get in? Airlines are like, oh, where is your visa? Like, how do you prove it? Right. So it's this whole thing. And now, long story short, I did it same day. It was very fast.
This
I
is
was
unheard
thinking
of.
it
I've
was
never
going to be
heard of such a thing.
I was thinking it was gonna be because I think the people that work here in the house, they're here right now. So if you hear any noises, that's why. They were telling me that I guess when they did that, it was 90s, early 2000s. You would go to a whole stadium. It was like this huge ceremony, like 3,000 people taking the oath together, and then they would call name by after person after person to go there and get a certificate. With me, it was just me and 10 other people, and they do it every 30 minutes. So it was super
Wow.
fast. But anyways, now I have to apply for not an emergency passport, but it's like an express
Yeah.
thing, so I can get my passport before the trip. But yeah, I'm a citizen now.
Okay, well, Mazel Tov. Congratulations.
Thank you.
I thought that you were jumping the gun because most normal people that I've talked to in the past, they do the test, they pass the test, but then you have to get your date to take the oath. You got the expert. I've never heard of this, by the way, in
I
my
was
life.
so lucky. I know. I was
Do
like,
you think that this was a
I
little bit of
was
preferential treatment, if we're being honest? Do you think that
what?
if I
Privilege?
show,
I don't have the privilege.
yes, if I show up, do you think they're asking me, hey, do you want to go do this now? I feel like they're saying,
Well, you're
I'll see
so
you in March.
famous. Maybe they
No,
would be like, "Hey,
no
I've
one's
seen
saying
you
that to me.
before," But now, you know why? Because if they do know you and watch your shows, they know you don't travel that much for pleasure, just for work, and you don't like leaving the house.
Sure. But I just don't feel like that offer is being extended to me.
Oh,
And
do
by
we
the way,
talk about
I'm not
this?
hating.
Do you want to talk about this? Like, do you feel
Do I
that
feel
people treat you
inadequate?
differently?
No, I'm not a good-looking woman. That's what it is. And I feel
Oh,
like,
thank
but
you.
by the way,
Hmm.
I'm not hating. I just want you to recognize the fact that this was a privilege
I
afforded
don't
to.
think that's what it was. I think the guy was very nice because he knew I had a work trip.
Did he know you worked for the UFC?
Yeah, he saw my application.
Oh, it wasn't like he was a fan.
But he didn't ask anything about UFC. It's
No, he
funny.
was playing it cool. Maybe he didn't want to,
No, he didn't say anything. Like he didn't ask anything about UFC. Oh, but one thing happened. So yesterday I was walking, here in the neighborhood. I live in Venice Beach, and then I was walking, going to get lunch, and then this guy walked, and he was like, "Hey, do you work for UFC, right? You work for UFC, right?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do." So that never happens to me.
Oh, I thought you were going to say then they said they liked the show.
No, but that did happen when I was traveling. Where was that? Newark. Maybe a guy got on
Oh,
the
you've told
elevator,
us
but
the
he
story.
but
This
he
is like a
but
story
he
from
said
months ago.
something like, "Oh, I love your show with like you and." He didn't say
The other
Ariel. He
guy.
said like another name, like Adam. I don't know.
But this is
and
from like
then
6 months
then
ago.
another guy at the Apex
Oh,
recently at
Apex.
the Apex because we for the Apex fights we take pictures with the fans before the
Yeah, yeah.
fights. And then a guy said, "Oh, by the way, I love that show that
Oh,
you
really?
and Ariel do." Yeah. I'm
Was
like,
it Hunter, Dana?
"Oh, no."
Okay.
You're obsessed.
No, not at all. We actually have the great TST here producing today's show. TST, aka Troy, by the way. TST short for tight ship Troy, because he runs a really tight ship. Troy, let me just ask you very quickly. Do you think that if you're going to become a citizen, are they offering you the opportunity to take the oath? You have to understand, it's like a month. Like you have to wait. I took it in October. I got back in March. It took me 5 months to take the oath and then go through the whole process.
Oh, Troy's an American, so he won't know. He wouldn't
I'm
know.
saying if Troy the Canadian shows up, are you being offered this?
No. Listen, I'm the producer here, so I can afford to say the truth. Let's be honest here. Luciana got the pretty privilege, or the guy was a massive
Pretty
UFC
privileged.
fan. Yeah, it's one of those two. Either
one of
way,
both.
He
you're
didn't
getting
say
the
a
Or both.
word.
opportunity.
I don't think he's a UFC fan, judging by the looks and everything. I don't think he was a
Oh,
UFC fan.
Stereotype. Wow.
What do you mean, judging by the what looks? What
No,
do we?
he
What does
just
he
he
look like?
just doesn't look like a guy that was sitting, watching UFC on
What
the
is he?
weekend.
What did he look like? Can I determine this?
He was a little older. He was Asian. Like just like had this peace, coming from him, and I
Why
just like
MMA fans aren't peaceful?
I mean, they can be, but I just some people I look and I'm like, yeah, that guy is definitely someone that will like watching UFC, will enjoy. Because every now and again, I went to a party this weekend, and a guy that is also a Canadian,
Oh,
and
nice.
he does some comedy shows, and he was telling us that he's not a UFC guy. He doesn't like watching UFC.
Were you
So
offended?
no, because some people don't like it. Just like I don't watch cricket. I don't know why
The
I
fact.
pick cricket of all, but I don't watch golf, for example. I think it's or tennis.
Sure.
Oh, or F1. I mean, actually, don't watch
That's
a lot
everything.
of sports.
Jeez. Would you say this guy was over 50?
Oh, for sure.
60?
Although he's Asian, and you never know. Could he
Right.
be? Is
No,
he
they age
20 or
gracefully.
100?
Okay,
We
but
don't know.
over 60?
Yeah, I think I don't know. Again, like
Okay. The
I
point is,
can
the
never
fact
guess
that you're saying
the
he's
age.
an older gentleman makes me think maybe, okay, maybe he was just trying to be a nice guy.
I think he was being
I
nice.
still don't
That's
feel
what
like
I
I'm
think.
being given this opportunity.
He was
Or,
so nice. And so, in my test, you have to, they can ask you 10 questions and you have to get 6 right. I got my 6 right. He stopped asking the questions. He didn't even,
oh, that's not
oh,
privilege.
I'm
That
only here for,
I
yeah,
said
right?
that happened to me. Yeah, yeah. Come
Yeah,
on.
yeah.
Now you're tooting
So,
your own horn.
yeah. You see,
Do you remember any of the questions?
I don't remember all of them, but it was like, what's the supreme law of, of the land?
Oh, that's a tough one.
Constitution.
Okay.
Oh, that's not.
Okay.
I think like because.
Do you remember one that you could ask Troy and see if he gets it right?
Oh my God!
Oh,
Wait,
let's go.
I have it here.
I'm a
Oh,
U.S. history
actually am
major. Let's go.
oh my
I'm
God.
actually fascinated.
Okay, I had it here printed. I threw it away, and then my cleaners. Oh, damn. Okay, I'll find it to you.
I think
And
Troy
I
will
have a
kill it.
lot of questions for you. Okay.
Troy will probably kill this.
Who was the president during the World War One?
The World War One. Woodrow Wilson.
Okay, correct. When was the year? When was the Constitution written?
1787 was the Constitutional Convention.
Oh, you got it right.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay, how about the year of the independence of the United States?
1776.
Correct.
I mean,
Look at
everyone
him.
knows that.
He knows. This is a man that knows history.
Yeah.
But I feel of all the 100 questions they can ask you, a lot of people don't know the answers.
No. This is rare. He's a history guy.
Oh, okay. Then
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
smart.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Can
but a
name
lot of people
every
don't know
president
the.
in order, by the way.
Come on.
Oh, you
That's my-
can't.
that's my party
but
trick,
that's
yeah.
absurd.
Give me the first 10.
Well, you don't have your camera on, so how do I know you're not like?
No, I believe him. I
Yeah.
believe him. Can't have his
Washington,
camera on because of our. Yeah, go ahead.
Washington, Adams, Jefferson,
The
Madison,
town-
Monroe, Adams, Jackson, Van Buren, Harrison, Tyler, Polk, Taylor. I'll stop there.
Wow.
Okay.
Who's
Do you know all
28?
these states? All the 50 states?
Oh, that's easy.
I can't rattle them off as fast as I can the presidents, but yes, I could probably do all the
Okay.
50 states.
Yeah, but anyway, so the questions have like, name one U.S. territory, name one Indian tribe, or, they have some questions are easier than others. I did get the questions the night before and I read it like 3 times and memorized them. Just
Only the night before? I
Yeah.
read them for weeks.
Oh, I didn't.
Wow.
But I have great memory for those things. Like the pressure, the last minute pressure always helps.
Yeah. I think we talked about it last week, how I crumbled under the pressure of the driving tests.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. So I need to.
But
Well, I'm thrilled for you.
Do you drive much?
Congratulations.
Does that mean you're a bad driver?
No, I'm a fantastic driver. It was just like the nerves of the tests were getting to me. Also, I was like 18 years old, it's not
Funny that you don't. The nerves of the interviews don't get to you as easy.
Sometimes, but you kind of do something enough, you get used to it. So does that mean you're no longer Brazilian or?
No, I'm still Brazilian.
Okay,
I
because
have
when
double
I went there, it was
citizenship.
weird. It felt like they were trying to get me to renounce my
Really?
Canadian citizenship. Yeah.
No. They ask you when you're taking the oath to renounce your loyalty to any other nations.
Yeah, what the hell is up with that? Why can't I be loyal to 2 places?
Right? Yeah. Well, one of the requirements, they want to make sure that if there is a war, you're gonna defend the United States.
Right. Would you defend the
hard.
United States if there was a war?
Well, I don't know if I can defend anyone. I don't know if I
What?
can defend myself.
Listen,
but I guess if they force me, yeah, I'll have to, right? Will you? What are you gonna do? Run away to Canada?
No, not at all.
Back to the motherland, Israel?
I believe that that it is better to be a warrior in the garden than a gardener in the war.
Huh. Okay. So that means no. The answer is no.
No, that means I'm preparing constantly for battle. I just don't flunk it.
How are you constantly preparing for battle? Just give me one example in your day-to-day life.
Earlier today, I went and did boxing. I had a boxing training class.
So that's how you're preparing?
Yes, that's exactly how I'm preparing. So if someone gets, testy, I hit him with the 1-2, and people have no idea what's going on with the 1-2. So
Do you think you have the power to knock out someone?
It depends who that person is.
Someone you hate, or someone that is attacking you?
I don't want to get into that
Anyone.
conversation because then and then all of a sudden people are like, "You should fight this guy." I'm not looking to be a fighter. Everyone wants to be. I'm not
Would
looking
you
to be a
do it
fighter.
for charity though?
No, I'm
You
not a
would
fighter.
still nobody.
No.
Oh,
If I had to fight to defend my life or my family's life, then yes, I would fight. But
got it.
to go out there, I don't possess that DNA.
Not for
I
the
don't have the
promotion. Got it.
yeah, I don't have that. I'm not that guy. I'm the guy who talks about it, interviews it, and the fighters and all that stuff. But I
Oh,
don't.
okay. Speaking of which,
Yes.
what was the interview that made you the most nervous?
And by the way, would you fight?
Depends on who my opponent is. If it's someone I think I can beat, then maybe. If someone is taller than me, definitely not. Because I feel people that are taller, they have the potential of, beating the crap out of me.
Do you have a dream fight?
No.
You
Why
know,
would
there's all
I?
these like influencer fighting things now. Like if someone reached out to you and said, "We'll give you
Do I
200."
look like someone that would know how to fight? Obviously not. I don't think
No, no.
about
If
it.
someone said,
The
"Look, we're going
only
to give
thing
you 6 months to
when I think
train."
about fighting, I think about fighting for my life. Let's say I'm
Right.
walking on the street, someone just attacks me out of the blue, push me to a van or something. I don't know. That's when I think, okay, fighting mode. What would
Sure,
I
sure.
do? How would I defend myself? But that's the only thing I think about.
If I'm a promoter and I say I have 250,000 for you to fight, and I want you to fight Arianny Celeste, are you saying yes or no?
Probably yes, because 250,000. And plus
That's
she's shorter than
amazing.
me. Like again, my rule is someone that is not taller than me. If it was Camilla, for example, I was like, yeah, maybe not.
Do you think you
She's
beat her?
taller. Brooklyn, taller. Again,
Right.
no.
Do you think you beat
Someone
her?
shorter than me, maybe.
Do you think you beat her?
Potentially, she's spicy. She's a Scorpio.
Mm-hmm.
But I think maybe, maybe. But again, in no way I'm saying I will fight Arianny Celeste
I'm making
promoters.
the offer.
So,
By the way, is this?
and also not 250,000. I need more money than that.
You
I
just
need
said
a
yes.
life-changing. No, a life-changing situation. Hit me like with like a million plus. Then I'll think.
Now we're talking crazy.
Yeah, 250,000. I mean, how much will I have to pay in taxes? I live in California.
All right, fine. But by the way, 30 seconds ago, you just said yes to 250.
What if I break my nose?
Yeah.
Like
Jan Brady. All right, fine. So I guess you're not interested. We don't have $1 million for that type of fight.
Oh, come on. You
Boxing or MMA?
Friends? Oh. I mean, the good thing about the boxing is that they won't like throw me on the floor.
Yeah, there's no takedowns. There's no jujitsu. You don't have to worry
so I
about
won't be fully embarrassed. So it's just hitting in the head. So maybe boxing, body.
Yeah.
And maybe you can you use those little protections?
Well, if it's an amateur fight, you can have headgear.
Right. I just maybe we should have rules, right? Like
don't
hurt the face.
No, you can't do that. Sorry.
Okay, maybe jiu-jitsu fight. Although I know
a grappling match would be fun. That would be cool. I like that.
Yeah.
By the way, Luciana, we have breaking news. I don't know if you know this, but it's great that TST is joining us today. Our good friend Jordan is getting married this weekend, so he was unavailable. We do wish them the best.
You're not going to the wedding, huh?
No, we already covered this. TST joining us. And TST has some breaking news. This guy's all over the place. He's a best-selling author. I don't know if you've gotten his new book. It's called Surrender. It's a guide to living your best life in your 20s. I read it in one day, in one sitting. It's a fantastic read, even though I'm far removed from my 20s. But that's not what I want to ask him or ask you about off the bat. I was perusing through social media, and I got breaking news that TST is now spoken for. Our good friend TST is now involved in a, dare I say, romantic relationship. True or false, TST?
This is true.
Wow.
Oh, you're taken. Since when?
2 weeks ago.
Okay, because I was about to say that, a couple episodes ago, you were willing to meet one of my sisters. Maybe a green card was being discussed.
Mm-hmm.
I got the vibe that you would be a potential candidate. So what happened?
Great question. Thank you.
Yeah, well, you guys ghosted me for a couple months, so I had to move on.
Well, we ghosted
I
everyone.
blame Ariel for that, as you know.
So I moved on. I'm not one to wait around. I'm not one to beat around the bush. So I moved on, went back to the dating apps, and was just on fire this summer. I mean, it was the summer of TST, left and right.
Wow.
Wow.
And,
so you met her on a dating app?
I did. Yeah.
Tell
Maybe
us
I'm
the
jumping
story.
down here.
Could we live vicariously through you? I mean, there's not much dating going on this side of the fence. I don't know about that side of the fence. So tell us, let us live vicariously through you.
Yeah, so took this girl out for a first date at a restaurant along the water here in Portsmouth, New Hampshire. And we, so dinner and drinks. And so,
wait, so what was the app? Can you tell us the app?
Oh, Hinge. Oh, always Hinge. Every other app,
same
not
one
good.
that I use.
Yeah.
It does work.
Yeah.
I've never heard of it.
It's the best one.
Is it like Tinder?
Sponsor us, Hinge.
Is it like Tinder, or is it
it's all,
better than Tinder?
It's all the
better
same
than
concept, but it's a better product. It's better than Tinder, than Bumble. The free version is solid. Like the free version gets it done.
Yeah, it's a better audience, I would say.
Okay, so you see her, Troy, and you send her a message?
She actually found me first. She sought me out, and I got the hey, she matched with you, which has become a good microcosm because
Was she a fan of the show?
No fan of the show. Has no idea what any of the stuff that we're talking about is.
We don't want to. Yeah, no, that's good.
No.
Okay, so she
you're
reaches
also not
out.
Promoting the show, huh? I see.
No, well, I do a bunch of stuff with Troy, so it's possible. But he's more of a.
I'm talking about our show, not your other shows.
No, I know, but it's possible that she could have been an MMA fan and she knew him from the other days. But this is better. We want someone who loves him for who he is.
Yeah.
So she reaches out, and is it instant?
Yeah, so she reaches out to me, slides into the Hinge DMs telling me how warm my smile is, and it seems like I have an infectious personality. And so that spoke to me because I take pride in those things. And so then
you surrendered yourself.
Wow. Yeah, kind of. Yeah.
I was waiting for that.
And so then, we go back and forth for a couple weeks, not sure about it. I was kind of getting tired of the whole dating around thing. I just kind of wanted to stop doing it for the summer. Maybe, wait until Luciana's sister comes back into the fold, whenever that is. But she convinces me to go out on a date. So we go out for a first date, dinner and drinks along the water. Then we go to another place for more drinks. And our reservation was at 6 was when we had started the date. And then at some point we look at each other and we're like, well, wonder what time it is. We throw out guesses. I say 10. She says 10:15. We look down. It's 1 a.m. And we're like, wow. We've been having a great time together. Time flies. And so then we go on another date. It's fine. We keep talking. And then, and Luciana, I don't know if you know this, but I got diagnosed with diabetes, and I got sent to the emergency room for 48 hours. And I told her this because we were supposed to have a date the day I got rushed to the hospital. And I said, can't make it. I'm in the hospital. Now, she thinks that this is the moment where I'm ghosting her, where I am, realizing, you know what? I'm better than her. I'm a big deal in the MMA world. Like, why would I ever associate with her? That's what she thinks. Mm-hmm. But I actually do end up going to the hospital. She doesn't believe me. So I tell her where I am. She comes to the hospital and spends the day with me watching UFC 292. Furthermore, the next week, I have my book signing in my hometown. She sends flowers to my book signing. And it's at this point where I'm like, all right, wow, this woman is giving me all the efforts that no one else has ever given me. Like, this is good. This girl deserves a chance. So from that point, she won me over. More dates and more hanging out. Did our first road trip a couple weeks ago to lovely Bristol, Connecticut. And now we are in an official relationship.
Wow. How did you learn about this relationship, Ariel?
Well, first of all, there's so much to dissect and digest from that. As my video goes out here, how embarrassing.
With the library.
Yes. Jordan, maybe you can, or Troy, can you cover that? So, wow. First of all, delighted for you. Troy's a very emotional guy and a sensitive guy, and dare I say, a bit of a romantic. He likes to live his life, um, in sort of a public way. He's a bit of a guru, if you will. He writes books, he writes a Substack, all this stuff. And to see this all come to fruition is wonderful. And she sounds like a fantastic person. I think, Luciana, you asked him a question. Did you ask, is she Latina? Is that
Yeah, because that's all
why?
Latina behavior, kind of like, let me see if he's lying or not. I'll go to the hospital,
Is she Latina?
She is not. She is from Florida, and she's a flight attendant.
Wow.
A lot of Latins in Florida, though. What's her ethnicity? I need to know more.
She's just
What's
a
her
white girl.
23andMe?
She's just a white girl.
Okay.
She's got Polish roots.
Okay,
Well,
I can understand. Okay, I can see.
I thought it was interesting when you were saying that she didn't believe you, man. But then the fact that she went and stayed, and by the way, maybe she pretended like she didn't believe you only to use it as an excuse to come visit you, and felt a little awkward about saying, "Can I come visit you?" So maybe use that as the excuse, and then to hang out with you, and then to send the flowers and to do all that. There's nothing better, in my opinion, than a thoughtful, empathetic person, and she sounds like a real catch.
Oh yeah. She is a
Wait,
catch.
do you live in Florida? You guys doing long distance?
Absolutely not. No, she lives in Boston.
Wait, she went from Boston to where do you live? In Connecticut?
I live in New Hampshire, just an hour from Boston.
So she went an hour away.
Yeah. She drove an hour to the hospital to check to make sure that I wasn't lying about ghosting her.
Oh, wow.
I love it. She sounds fantastic.
She is. She's a departure from the previous woman I've been into, Ariel, which I know you've been privy to.
Luciana said something. You surrendered yourself to her. Why did you use that term, Luciana?
It was his book, Surrender. You didn't catch the joke?
Wow. That was a good joke.
I thought it was a good joke.
That was a good joke. But TST, you posted a video talking about this, and I couldn't find the video. I think it was just on your story. Where didn't you use that term as well? Didn't you say that I'm surrendering myself? You used something like that.
Oh, you did?
Yes.
I not in reference to this situation. I forget what that was in reference to. You put out so much content.
The way you put out the news. Okay,
was there an announcement?
Yes, he put out an announcement. So that's my question.
Oh.
Why did you put out the announcement that you were now spoken for? A, and B, how did she feel about you making this public 2 weeks into the relationship? That to me seems a little bit much. You could potentially scare her off.
So we've agreed that we're going to keep her anonymous. So I haven't used her name, and I'm going to call her Frog Girl because she's obsessed with amphibians.
Why?
On our first date, she made no fewer than 30 references to frogs. When she gets drunk, she talks about her love of frogs. She bought a house in Florida based solely on income made from breeding lizards. This was what she did in her college and early 20s years. She's 5 years older than me. She's 32, so she's lived many lives. And so I call her Frog Girl, and she's now trying to make me into a frog person. She thought when I went to the hospital that I was canceling on her because we were going to the Boston Aquarium that day. She thought I was trying to get out of the aquarium date.
She's crying listening to this.
What kind of
are you crying out of because it's romantic or because it's so ludicrous that someone would be that obsessed with frogs?
I'm just so invested in this.
I've heard of cat ladies. I've never heard of a frog lady before.
Yeah.
Is that not weird?
She's a frog
crazy lady, but
is that not weird when you initially hear that?
Yeah, no. The first date, I was weirded out by this. I was like, she's a nice girl. She's really sweet, but this is strange, the way that she talks about these frogs. This is something to monitor. And so for the first couple of dates, I was still kind of weirded out. Then she did eventually win me over, and I did come to find out after spending more time with her that she really only gets hyped about the frogs when she gets drunk.
Wow.
What? It only comes out when she gets drunk?
Yeah.
Some people do other weird things when they get drunk.
Does she have a lot of frogs in her room? Or in her bedroom?
Yeah.
No, but has a lot of frog paraphernalia, She's already given me she's given me
those little
like she got me a frog hat already, and I've got a frog eraser And so she just slowly like trying to increase me to the frog. So I'm becoming a frog guy. Like they're kind of cute. I'm learning all these fun frog
becoming
facts.
a frogger, a frogster, a frogger. How would you call yourself?
I'm a frog fan.
Yeah, what is a frog? What is a frog person called? Like a frog aficionado? Is there a name?
I don't know, but I'll find out. But
Is
yeah, she's frog girl. She's frog girl, and she is cool with being known as that. So anytime I post a picture of her on Instagram, it will be of us, but then I'll put the frog emoji over her face.
Wow. Can I ask you a question?
Because she is because you're preserving her identity. Or she asked that, or
yeah. She doesn't want to hear from any of the crazies that are in the MMA space.
Can I ask you a question?
I didn't know you were that famous, Troy.
Troy's pretty damn famous. Yeah, I mean, he has a freaking book.
Follow you.
Yeah.
Wait, can I ask you a question? Where did the love of frogs come from?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great question.
Florida?
One I definitely asked on our first
by
date.
the Everglades?
No, I asked this question.
No, I mean, so she's loved amphibians her entire life. The frogs are a recent development, being about 10 years ago. I'm not quite exactly what sparked the frog, but she's always loved amphibians. She was doing the lizard business. I mean, she was getting rich off of breeding lizards in her home and then selling them to other people who wanted lizards. Like this was literally how she made income.
Making money out of breeding lizards. She a reptilian?
Wow. So, I mean, it's actually fascinating. But to me, like, if you met her, would you think that she's a frog person? Like, does she look like a frog person? Is she weird?
Wait, how can you look like a frog person? How can you
identify? She's walking.
That person looks like a frog
around
person.
with like a dress that looks like a frog. It's green. She like, I don't know. Cat people look like cat people sometimes. What am I going to say? Like cat lady?
They look crazy. They look.
I mean, you said it nicer than I did.
Someone that has like 10 cats.
By the way, not too far off from Chihuahua people too, if I'm being honest.
Okay, wait.
Do
I look like someone that loves Chihuahuas? Because I hope so, because they're lovely.
Yes, you do. I just wanted to know, like, when you see her, like, would I know if I meet her? Would I know she's a bit, like, let's be honest, a bit of a different type of hobby obsession, or is she very normal?
You would not know that she's a frog person. She looks very normal. She's very smiley and bubbly and enthusiastic for life. She's a wonderful person to be around.
I love it.
Troy.
Yes.
Assuming she's the one. Whoa. Will you have a frog theme at your wedding?
It's a big stretch.
So we've actually had a conversation, in
oh my god,
because with the online dating thing, right? You kind of figure everything out at the beginning to know whether you're wasting your time or not, right?
Did she have any indication that she was into frogs on her profile? On her
Hinge profile, she did say like the fun fact about her. Then she listed her favorite frog.
You didn't think that?
Did you know that was a frog? It was saying this is my favorite frog, or it was this is my favorite thing, and it had like one of those scientific names that it could be anything.
It said her favorite, like, fun fact about me, favorite animal, the poison dart frog.
Okay, but then that doesn't mean you knew that. Maybe she just thought, like, I like tigers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
From the Hinge profile
in my yard.
From the Hinge profile, I could not tell any of this. She blew my mind away on the first date. But then, like, the third date,
I kind of dig it.
Yeah. Third, fourth date, things are going well. We're thinking, all right, there might be something here. So you just get it all out on the table before you decide, like, whether you want to really pursue this and get serious. So we had the marriage conversation, like, where do you stand on marriage? Where do you stand on children? We both agree that we do not want to get married and we do not want to have children. So there will be no frog wedding.
It's disappointing.
But you will have frogs in the house. How do you feel about sleeping?
I'm not sure. I'm not sure if we will.
Maybe
we didn't talk about that.
I actually think the bigger revelation is: are you so selfish that you will never get married and have children? That seems a bit weird.
It's not about being selfish.
It's very selfish.
It is selfish.
A lot of people don't.
It is selfish.
The world is that
No, they don't want to ruin their weekends. They don't want to live for someone else,
But
care for
sometimes you just had a trauma and you don't feel like you're capable of raising a child, or you don't want to pass that trauma along, or you have a disease, or there's so many reasons why
well, now
you
you're
don't
making
have
me
That's pretty
sound like that
noble,
guy.
Luciana. That's not my reason.
Yeah, this is not his reason. Let's be honest. I know
Okay,
exactly.
well, to be fair, neither me or my husband wanted to have kids, and now we're thinking about it. So people do change their minds sometimes.
This is exciting. Breaking news?
Oh, no, I'm not pregnant.
No, but
Not
I mean,
anytime soon.
the fact that we're
Just say
considering,
we're thinking about it.
I like it. I like it.
Oh
Okay, so
man,
no,
I had something to say. Keep going, because now I'm invested in this.
no, there's so much.
I wish I could see, live comments right now and what people were gonna ask about this, because it's just so,
It's fascinating.
I wish I could see your face also when you learn about the whole frog thing.
Yeah, I should have recorded it. Put it out on
Yeah.
episode
Were
of my
you,
podcast.
did you, I mean, at least she is breeding frogs and not dissecting them, because that would be a little psychopathic
she has a love.
behavior,
Yeah,
Troy.
she adores the frogs. She wants to save the frogs, by the
Yeah.
way, from extinction. They're in danger.
Do you think she kisses the frogs? She ever kissed a frog?
I'm sure she has. I haven't asked, but I'm sure she has.
Yeah, why not? Troy, have you said I love you yet?
I have not.
Did she?
No. This is
Okay.
early stage. You guys are advancing.
I don't know how. I mean, you're talking about wedding. What are you talking about?
You had an announcement.
You had
on
an announcement. You had a
Instagram.
wedding. I don't know. Maybe
Also, why did you announce it on Instagram if you were not allowed to show her face? Did you do it just to say, "Hey, other ladies, I am taken,"
interesting.
or "Hey, MMA community, I have a girlfriend"? Which one? Or they were both?
Ariel,
Great
what
question.
was my announcement? I didn't say, "Hey, everyone, I have a girlfriend." Didn't I just
Oh yes,
suddenly
I saw this
alluded
video.
to I have a girlfriend?
You said for the first time in 10 years, I have a girlfriend, which I have a follow up about.
Oh,
by the
right.
way. And you said I'm giving myself up to someone. I've lived a very sort of self-centered.
Surrendering himself to someone.
You did post this, did you not?
Yes,
did I dream this?
Yeah, no, it was an excerpt from my podcast. No, I said, yep, I have a girlfriend right now. It'll probably blow up in my face, but I'm pretty happy about it.
Now, I have a problem with what you said. You said first time in 10 years. I've met a previous girlfriend of yours. Are we just forgetting that ever happened?
So
I actually went back. Okay, I'll be honest. When Ariel told me about this, I went to your Instagram and I was looking for the video. I was like, when did he announce that? Because I went back, and I saw a post from March about a hike. Someone
Oh, that girl. Yeah, that's not.
Yeah,
anyone.
another girl.
That's a friend.
It's still there. It's still there.
Nope.
It's still there.
No, hold on.
So I was like,
hold on, Luciana.
Wait, is he dating this person since, when do we have to talk about my sisters? I need to know.
Luciana, you don't know me enough here. If you knew me, you know that I spend all of my time with women. Like, I have no guy friends. There are many women in my life. That woman that you were referring to was just another friend.
Okay.
Another person I
curious.
friend zoned.
I'm just, I didn't have much time to go and dig in.
Yeah.
No, it's a fascinating look at his
5 minutes before the show.
He lives a fascinating. Luciana, how do you feel about a guy who only has girlfriends, friends that are girls?
Well, that depends. Are they attractive?
Yeah, all of
I
them.
think that can make a huge difference.
Does it? I guess so.
It does.
Would that make you? Would it make you jealous?
Does. Don't tell me it doesn't. It does.
Would it make you jealous if your husband only had friends that are girls?
Yeah, that shit would not fly with me. You're kidding me?
Would you not allow it?
That's the thing about me. I don't disallow it. But eventually, they become so afraid of me that they're like, oh yeah, maybe we should be friends anymore. No, but he didn't have close friends, but he had those acquaintances. They were they were kind of into him, or something happened in the past and we became friends, and then when I came to the scene, I was like,
time to cut them out. Okay, fair enough. Yeah, TST has no boyfriends, friends that are boys. I guess his colleagues would be.
Well, I thought you guys were friends.
Yeah, exactly, but we don't hang out. I think he means by hanging. We don't live in the same state.
I'm starting to think that you have a lot of friends, but you don't hang out with a lot of people, Ariel. Why is that?
First of all, this is not about me, number one. This is about you guys.
Hanging out? Don't you like hanging out?
Yes, I have 3 little children that take up a lot of time. Do I have friends that I hang out with? Absolutely not. In fact, I try to avoid it. I go out of my way to avoid it. Is this a problem? Perhaps. But, when you get to my age, friends,
How old are you again?
41,
Wow.
and when you have 3 kids that have all these activities, you tend to hang out with other parents of the
Aren't they
friends.
friends though?
Yeah, they're friends, but it's not like I'm going to like someone's house to watch a football game.
Got it.
It's like you're all hanging, you're going like you're having a dinner at someone's house and the kids are running around and you're
Do
trying,
you have
like,
to have like the small talk? You're not really friends with the guy, but for the kids, you're like, sure. And then you're like,
oh,
and the guy knows
1,000%. Well,
nothing about the sport, but he's asking you like, hey,
oh, a
so
million times. Yes.
what's up? What's up
All the
with
birthday
Hawaii?
parties are like that. All the birthday Oh, how about that, you know, how about that fight last weekend? I have this conversation all the time. And TST is saying this is exhibit A, not to have kids. As to why not to have kids, I disagree.
So you can
I,
have friends, but you
I
only
think
have
that
girlfriends
I think that I
and
would
fraud
be
friends.
I think that I would be mentally unstable if I didn't have kids. I think kids have brought me balance, perspective, purpose. I think I'm too obsessive as a person that, especially with my career and like how online and public it is, I think I would be obsessed with it. And if I didn't have things and reasons to give me an excuse to not think about work and to not think about the career, I think I would have perhaps crumbled. Yeah.
Okay, I'm glad you have kids.
I would go as far as say that my kids not only changed but saved my life.
Whoa.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. Perhaps you
Um,
need to be saved too, Troy, someday.
I'm great.
he's having a great time.
Yeah.
He's loving life. He's traveling all over the world. In fact, I even saw on his social media that he's considering moving to Spain.
Really? Where?
So I'm gonna go in January and or February to San Sebastian for like a month or two, little escape New England, and then I'm also gonna go to Brazil. That's gonna be my next big trip. So,
Oh, nice.
got any
Where
recs?
in Brazil?
Where should I go?
Rio.
Rio. All right.
Santa
Rio it is.
Catarina, Florianopolis. Yeah, Florianopolis.
Ooh,
Santa Catarina
okay.
is the state. Yeah, Florianopolis is fun.
Someone told me that
But go in the summer.
Florianopolis has the most beautiful people on the planet. That's what someone said.
I don't know if on the planet, but a lot of beautiful people there for sure. Especially if you like blondes. Like,
Ooh,
Interesting.
yeah,
Why is
I
that?
like tan blondes. So south of Brazil, I always say this, I guess because of during the war, a lot of people concentrated in south of South America, Argentina, Uruguay, south of Brazil. And the population in those areas, those last 3 states, are like more white people, more Nordic, more like, and it's like Germans, Italians, Poland, people from Poland. So all sorts of Ukraine. Like my mom is blonde. Most of my girlfriends from college are blonde, blue, green eyes. Everybody's kind of like light skin. Mostly light skinned people. In the South, but not just that. I guess the reason people say that there are a lot of beautiful people in the South is I guess they take good care of their health. Like like cities, they're coastal. I think because you're always maybe showing your body off more. You go to the beach, you wear more, swimsuits. Maybe you exercise more. So yeah, every time I go there, I'm like, man, how come everybody's so fit?
Wow. This seems like a perfect place for TST.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
TST, how are you going to do your job when you're traveling to Spain and Brazil and all these places?
the same way I did when I traveled to London and Hawaii. You just get it
Wait,
done,
is the
remotely.
girlfriend going?
No,
No.
but she's a flight attendant. She gets around easily.
Which airline?
Delta.
Wow. So it's like
that's a good airline.
how many times a week is she traveling and what's her route? Is there like a specific route that she's always doing?
So she's usually gone like 3 days a week. The route changes every month. She's recently been doing a lot of Boston to Austin to Seattle's.
Fun.
Okay.
What a life.
Can she get you upgrades if you fly? If you
So
travel
she's laid out a very interesting rule for me.
Wow.
So to prove that I'm not just in it for the flight benefits. Okay. So she gets
I love it.
So her parents get to fly free standby. she gets to fly free standby, and she also gets a +1 to fly free standby. However, you can't just you choose your +1 and then you stay that +1 for a year. Like she can't have 5 different +1s.
Oh.
So she has said that I have to wait for she and I to be together for a year until I can be her +1 because she's made the mistake in the past of giving a +1 too early, who, later found out that this person was just kind of using her for the flight benefit. So I have to prove it to her that I'm in this for the long haul and not just for the benefits. So I won't be able to fly free for standby for about 10 months.
I guess that's fair, but how about upgrades? Can she upgrade you? Because that's I feel like I would like the upgrade better than the standby.
I don't think so.
Oh man.
But I don't need first class. I don't need it.
I like this girl a lot.
Doesn't need first class, Troy.
No, I'm a minimalist. Don't need that.
Have you ever flew first class?
I have.
Once you do it, it ruins your life.
No, I'm a simple
really
man.
Does.
I'm a simple man.
When you have to fly back economy after you flew business or first,
it's tough.
It's like you hate traveling. And then when you fly business or first, you're like, oh my God, traveling is so fun. And then you sit there. And every time I'm flying economy and I walk past the business class, I look at those people, you know how I feel? Like I'm in the Titanic. And remember in Titanic, when you were poor, you were like, you don't even have a window. And then the rich people are having balls and eating lobster. That's how I
You're
feel.
wishing bad on them.
I am.
You hope they get sick, food poison.
I hope. Yeah, I just, the only thing that, gives me comfort is that if there is a plane crash,
oh, geez,
they will die first.
Holy shit.
Wow. Luciana.
Wow. Yeah.
I just hate them so much. But then when I'm there, I'm like, oh, yeah, go in back.
Hate yourself that you didn't get first class. Why? By the way, hate the employer that didn't put you in first class.
Well, how will they put me? It's against the rules. You have to pay for it, and that's the thing. So,
what do you mean it's against the rules?
I think it should be illegal, like to have those seats, those economy seats. They're so bad for your back when you're flying. If you're flying more than 5-6 hours, you should be able to lay down, right?
Yes. Here's the thing. With tenure comes perks. Flight that's over 2 hours should be first class if it's a business trip.
Yeah, but some business class, they're like business class.
So what? It's still better than whatever.
They don't really lay down. But yeah, no, but it's still better because you have a larger seat.
If you're flying LA to New York, what are you flying? First? Business?
Well,
coach?
That's a sad story for me, a sad topic for me, because I was a loyal American Airlines person. And I had like a super high status, and then pandemic hit and then I wasn't flying so much. And then I just lost my executive platinum status. So I don't get upgrades anymore. So now I'm trying to build a relationship with Delta. But then I just saw the Delta change the rules and it's going to be way more expensive and difficult for you to reach that, medallion, whatever diamond status that they have. So I don't know what to do. I might switch to United. But yeah, if I fly to New York, it would probably be economy.
Your business.
For Brazil, I'm flying business because I can't. Huh?
So you upgrade yourself, but your employer should do it for you, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, but I'm not that important like you.
Listen, you have
clearly I don't make more than the fighters, like I say.
We've already established this.
If I had that privilege, I would be flying business. No, but I on this one, I was like, I was looking, dates, and the UFC fight is happening the same weekend as the Formula One. So the flights are crazy expensive. And I was like, I can't do. I was like dreading it. I was like, maybe I won't work on this fight. I don't know. And then I kept looking at dates. And then I found like a date the week before. And I was like, hell yeah, I'll go earlier. I'll spend more probably with hotels and then flying from São Paulo to Curitiba and Curitiba to São Paulo to see my family. But at least I'm not going to suffer in the economy. It's just I can't anymore. It's like,
no, I agree. I actually was going to turn down a job if I couldn't get business.
But I feel like after a certain age, I just can't do it anymore. Before I would, I flew to Abu Dhabi, in Australia when I was living in Florida, all economy.
No,
it was brutal, but I did it. Now, if I sit, like in that position for a couple hours, like I can't move anymore. I'm old.
No, it's crazy. And you're definitely one of those people who takes their shoes off, right?
No, what? No,
You
if
take
I
your
have
shoes.
my own cabin, if I'm laying down, I will be on socks. But if I walk on the plane, I always put shoes on. That's disgusting. Never walk
Can I
barefoot
tell you
or
something?
uh,
The last flight that I was on, saw someone get up, socks, walk to the bathroom,
oh,
wearing
that's the
socks.
worst because you know that water on the floor?
Yes.
It's not
No, no,
water.
I couldn't
Not
believe
water,
it. That to me
baby.
is worse than sitting there barefoot. She walked to the bathroom wearing her socks. Could you imagine what you're stepping on
Okay,
with your
you know what
socks?
kills me in airplanes also? There's also this when you are in business or first, you have like you share a bathroom. You still share a bathroom, but it's less people.
Hmm.
Economy is like the entire plane sharing those two, maybe four bathrooms, right? And I just have this thing that like I'm opening there and I'm breathing the air that someone didn't close, the
Hmm.
toilet thing, like toilet seat before they flush it, so all the bacteria are in the air, and I just
Oof.
it's
You're
filthy.
way more crazy than I am. Do you wash your hands with the water in the
Oh, yeah, I have to, and
you
then I
can.
use the hand sanitizer,
The
but the water is dirty.
the water's dirty. Yeah, you just bring the sanitizer at
Do
that
you
point.
know that some people do this? They are like thirsty and they decide to drink the water in the airplane and they get incredibly sick.
Oh, you're correct. What are you talking about?
Yeah, yeah,
Who's
yeah,
doing
yeah.
that?
Well, some people do. They just don't know. They think like, oh, water, I'm thirsty. You know. Also, the coffee on the airplane. I think I saw this on social media. One flight attendant saying things you shouldn't do in the airplane, blah blah blah. Because I think the water that they use for the coffee is dirty or something. I don't know. I don't do coffee.
Wow. Ice cubes as well. Bad news.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad.
This is
Yeah,
a crazy thing. This is a phobia.
it
You
is.
like to
But
say that I'm a
imagine.
germaphobe. I think you're way worse than I am because you actually go down these rabbit holes. I
Well,
try
I
to
am to some
avoid them.
degree,
You
but
read
I
this
leave the
stuff.
house, and you're extreme.
No, I'm not extreme. I don't read. You seek this information. I just try to live with blinders on.
No,
Ignorance
I
is
don't
bliss.
think the information. It just jumps. Like my phone is probably listening to this conversation right now,
Uh,
and then when I open social media, the algorithm is gonna, pop something
I want
to
nothing
me,
to
and
do with
I'm
it.
gonna be traumatized. So, yeah,
Well,
yeah.
in conclusion, Troy, I'm very happy for you. Will we get to meet this lovely lady in the near future?
I don't know, Ariel. I
Or the
don't like
frog.
to, mix business and personal. A wise man once
Okay.
told me that.
Sure. Yep. Yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I am thrilled, and I read about it, or first saw it on social media, which I was worried that it might hurt you, but I'm happy that you had the conversation with her beforehand, and I hope you don't screw this one up.
Yeah.
That's all.
No, it's all good. But that being
Yeah.
said, if Luciana's sister, if she's still available, like my DMs are open.
Wait, what if your girlfriend listens to this?
Yeah.
She's
What
not
are you
going to. She has
doing?
no idea who Ariel is. She has no idea who
This
you
is
are. And it's going to
perfect.
stay that way.
This is what you want.
Yeah.
How
This is
come
what you want.
no idea? Like you literally, I mean,
She's not like she
I'm
does.
assuming, okay. When this
She's not
show
stalking you.
goes live, won't you have the name Troy Farkas in it? And if
If he doesn't want me,
She ever Googles your name, that video will pop up on YouTube and
you think
she's
she's
gonna
sticking
see.
around for 55 minutes listening to us
She
talk about
went, she
bathroom
crossed the
etiquette?
borders of the state. She would travel one
Yeah,
hour
she
to
might
make
pop
sure
in
he was
on.
in the same hospital. Don't you think she would Google his name and see that he's being part of this show?
Did you Google your husband's name when you
Of
met
course
him?
I did.
Were you stalking him?
Of course I did. What?
Oh, oh, okay. All right. So I guess
What?
she's speaking
Oh
from
my God.
experience.
Who do I think I am? I literally look at everything. When my
Oh,
sister, she doesn't date anymore, the younger one.
Mm.
wait,
She
what do you
dated for
mean?
11 years, but when they started dating, she was
Oh,
14 and he was 15.
geez.
I was working for the government at the time, in Brazil. And I had access to, the criminal backgrounds to see if someone.
Oh, yeah.
And I did look at the boy just to make sure he was clean.
Was he clean?
Say, yeah.
What did you do for the government?
I just worked like at this minor crime divisions, and they would
Wow.
have, yeah, it was cool.
What do you mean when you say your sister doesn't date anymore? Like, doesn't date
No,
that
no,
guy?
they don't date anymore. I'm
Got it.
saying they
Wow,
broke
11
up.
years.
Yeah,
Was that
long time.
traumatic?
I think like at first it was weird, but now she's been single for a couple months. He's dating someone else, like started dating someone right away, and then she's just fine.
Okay. So does that mean, is this the one that we were supposed to set up with Troy?
One of those.
Is this the younger one?
The younger one, yeah.
Are you feeling like she missed the boat now that Troy is unavailable? At least for now. Who knows what happens? But do you feel like she missed her chance, or do you feel like he was the one that got
I don't think
away?
she ever looked at Troy.
No, do you feel, knowing Troy like you do you feel like you should have pushed for this more?
I think Troy is older than she is. How old are you, Troy?
27.
Okay, then you're not that old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was hoping, and I blame myself, I will admit. I should have pushed for it more, but I'm still holding out hope. The problem is she doesn't speak English, right?
Yeah, she does.
Oh, okay. All right.
Not as well as I do, but she does.
Right. Okay. Well,
No,
let
she
her
actually
know.
does a good job. I mean, my sisters do a good job considering they never had, classes or anything.
Will you tell her that the guy that we wanted to set her up with is now currently unavailable, and can we see, like, maybe because that's what happens, right? You get jealous and you're like, shit, I should have pounced when I had a
I
chance.
don't think she is like that.
Oh, okay.
I think she's more like, yeah, she has a lot of options right now. Like,
Wow.
I think, she's
How old is she?
25.
All right.
Yeah, she's having fun.
Okay. She's desired, as they say.
Yeah, she's an attractive girl. She's single,
All right. I've never met her. I don't know.
Yeah,
Okay. She doesn't like frogs or cats or chihuahuas.
No, she does like chihuahuas. She
Okay.
does have a cat, and she has
Oh.
2 dogs and 1 cat, which is absurd. But
Well, this was a lot of fun.
right?
And, this was great. Troy, you bring a lot to the table here on this show. I wish you would come by more often.
Yeah, I just wish I got the invite sometime. But also, I am busy, doing a lot of things.
You're very busy. I mean, his whole social media is that he's so busy and he doesn't want to do this and doesn't want to do that. So I don't want to bother you with more stuff. I don't want to saddle you with this stuff.
Yeah, I hate this stuff.
I didn't know you were so busy, so famous, Troy.
He's very famous. He's very famous.
We're on our way up, Luciana.
Perfect.
You should read his Substack. What's the Substack?
TroyFarkas.substack.com.
There it is. Everyone go subscribe.
We'll have to get you a book,
And,
Luciana.
MMA related, the Substack?
Nothing related. Nothing related to MMA. It's all about life.
No, I'm saying. Oh, I thought you were talking about the other thing. Not the book.
No, the Substack is nothing about. It's all about life. It's about living in your 20s, about careers,
MMA.
about relationships.
Oh yeah.
Nothing MMA related. Very, very minimal. I'm far removed. Unfortunately, you're far removed from your 20s, but perhaps there's something you could.
Oh, what?
No, are you not? I mean, there's some sort of common ground that you can.
I
find.
have the skills to find where you live.
Listen, you have to accept reality. We have to accept. Okay, maybe there's someone out there who's writing a guide to living your best life in your 40s.
Yeah, you should read it.
Ariel, you've also forgotten to mention to Luciana. Luciana, Ariel is on the cover of this book. He agreed to write a blurb for me. So yeah.
Made it to the cover?
Yeah.
Oh, did you write a little?
Yes, I wrote, Troy has an abundance of knowledge and wisdom to share. That's not the only thing I wrote, but that's
like
what
a reference letter to people that are writing books. I think that's
essentially.
What is it called? Like a recommendation or something?
It's a blurb.
Yeah, you're recommending. You're basically saying, yeah, read this book because this guy's a good person. I read it too, and it's awesome.
Yeah, there it is.
Ariel Helwani,
Random.
13-time MMA journalist of the year. Perhaps one day, Luciana, when you write a blurb, I'll say one-time ring card girl of the year.
Oh, Ariel Helwani. You want him? Why do you keep wanting more credit than you already have?
I don't want. I just say
he keeps wanting to win the MMA awards every year.
I don't want anything.
Hey, is the book green because of the frogs?
No, it is not. But
this was before. Before.
Okay, I'll let
this
it
was
go.
lovely. This was lovely.
Ariel, you should put the book in the library in the back.
Oh, that's a great call. I'll gotta do that. I need to rearrange some things here, but that is a great call.
Yeah, I see that you never read those books, huh? They always
right there. All right, everyone. That is actually hilarious. That's a good zinger right there. I appreciate that.
I know, I'm funny sometimes.
Congratulations to our friend Jordan on getting married. TST, great job. Thanks to all the fans. Please spread the word. I'll do my best. She won't, but we'll be back soon. and we'll let
Well, you
everyone
know
know
what?
when
Give
we
me
get
a
back.
good clip, a good thumbnail or
We do
whatever
give a
it's
good
called.
clip.
Because
Spencer
you
does a
guys,
great
because
job.
you look like funny and cool, and then I'm always like making those faces like what?
We're
And then people are like,
trying.
is
We're
she dumb?
trying.
Yeah.
We're trying. But we hope everyone enjoyed this. And I really think the star of the show was TST. So well done to you, sir. We'll talk to you soon, okay? We'll be back very soon. Have no fear. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll see you next time.
Peace.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of the Ariel Helwani Show. If you want to check out some of our old episodes, or if you want to stay up to date with all the great things that we are doing here, please do like and subscribe to this here page. Trust me, some really cool things are coming up.